Hello and welcome to Friday's Granada Reports.
Hello there. On the programme this evening,
the trial of two brothers for assaulting police at Manchester Airport. Here's how one of them didn't realise the officers he was punching were women. We'll be live with the latest from Liverpool Crown Courts.
the agony of life in limbo on an NHS waiting list. Two women tell their powerful stories.
It was too emotionally upsetting, waiting for results that you think, is this the year I'm going to get cancer?
The new play about the moment in Manchester's history that was barely noticed here but inspired massive change in Africa.
The night when a lot of love was shown in Liverpool as the stars and the crowds came out to raise money for the city's baby hospice.
And we have a thunderstorm warning coming into force at midnight. We can expect some very heavy rain over the next 24 hours. I'll have all of the details later in the programme.
First tonight, one of two brothers accused of assaulting police at Manchester Airport has insisted he didn't know two of the officers he struck to the floor were women.
Mohammed Fahir Ahmaz, who's 20, is accused of assaulting three Greater Manchester police officers as they attempted to arrest him last July.
Footage that we have to warn you may find distressing shows him resisting and a brawl breaking out involving police, himself and his brother, Mohammed Ahmad, who's 26.
Anna Yusuf has been following the case and joins us live from Liverpool. And Anna, what's the latest?
Well, CCTV has played a crucial role in this case. And as part of today's cross-examination of Mohammed Ahmaz, the prosecution took us through the key moments, frame by frame. Ahmaz has always maintained throughout that he acted in self-defence and that every blow he struck was lawful. Today, the jury was shown in slow motion every kick, every punch, every elbow, 12 blows in all, another two didn't connect. Asked about the high level of violence he used, Ahmaz said, "I was protecting myself." He claimed he didn't know the two police officers he struck to the ground were women. The prosecution said, "Are you able to help the jury understand how you didn't realise you were punching a woman with long red hair?" The defendant said, "It was just a matter of seconds. I didn't know where the punch was going. It was just a reaction." The officer, PC Lydia Ward, was left with a broken nose. Ahmad agreed with the prosecution that he believed he and his brother were, quote, going to be murdered by the police in broad daylight and on CCTV. He insisted that he didn't know at the beginning that they were police officers, and if he had, he wouldn't have incurred that level of violence at all. He agreed that they were all in police uniform. Asked if it had occurred to him that he might be a person of interest to the police, given that 5 minutes before he'd headbutted and punched a member of the public, he replied no. When the prosecutor suggested that he was wholly out of control, the defendant said, "That's not true. I was scared. Police officers were attacking us for no reason." Referring to footage which showed Ahmaz being kicked in the head by a PC Marsden as he lay on the floor, the prosecution said that whatever the rights and wrongs of what had occurred, it had happened after his violence and he couldn't use it to justify his actions. The two brothers, who are from Rochdale, deny all the allegations against them, and the trial will continue here at Liverpool Crown Court on Monday.
Anna Yusuf, thank you for that.
Well, next tonight, the government says it's turning the tide on NHS waiting lists. But tonight we hear from women whose mental and physical health have suffered terribly as they waited for vital treatments.
Like 40,000 people in the northwest, both waited for more than a year until they had surgery. The latest figures show more than 1 million people in our region are waiting for NHS treatment of some kind.
The government tells us the action it's taken is bringing those waiting lists down, though their own figures show a drop of just 3.5% in the last 10 months.
So we want to hear from you. Are you on a waiting list? Tell us your stories, please. Just email the programme at itv.com/Granada.
More from our reporter, Tasha Kachiri.
Michelle Turnock waited years for breast reconstruction after cancer. The wait affected her mental health. In May, she finally had the surgery.
Just can't thank those nurses enough who looked after me for the couple of days that I was in, and just gave me the confidence to get back on my feet and put it behind me.
Now healing and with a new outlook, she watched her original interview.
I try and think to what I was like before the start of 2020, even before the COVID and everything. I don't recognise myself. I'm a completely different person to what I was back then.
Do you recognise yourself there?
No, it was a scary time. I just didn't know whether I was coming or going. We were very, very, very much in limbo.
How far away is that Michelle from the Michelle that sat in front of us now?
About 1 million miles away. I don't even think my arms could stretch that far.
In the northwest, more than 1 million people are waiting for NHS care. Over 40,000 have been waiting for over a year. Gail had surgery last year. Her mum, grandma and aunt died from cancer. She has the BRCA2 gene, which gives her a higher cancer risk.
It was too emotionally upsetting, waiting for results that you think, is this the year I'm going to get cancer?
Gail chose to have preventative surgery, including a double mastectomy, but her local hospital would not do the reconstruction. Other places said no too. Some didn't even offer the surgery.
Oh, it's soul destroying, absolutely soul destroying. I didn't know whether I was ever going to get the surgery. People need this surgery for a valid reason. I'm very high risk. I don't want to get cancer, and I know if I did get cancer, I would cost the NHS an awful lot more money. I'm trying to help myself, and to be rejected when I'm really trying to be resilient and, push on with things.
Finally, a hospital in Sheffield said yes. We asked the Prime Minister about the long waits. He said the government is working on it.
I'm really pleased that we're making progress bringing those waiting lists down, but I don't want to diminish the experience of anyone in the Northwest who is on a waiting list. All I can say is this: we're working as hard as we can, sleeves rolled up, and I have them in my mind's eye when I take the decisions that I do in relation to the NHS. We're determined to tackle this problem.
Waiting lists have been a problem for years. It's hard to book checkups, surgery and other care. But there is good news. Warrington Hospital started a new super clinic. You can get checked, treated and book surgery all in one visit.
I think it has helped to catch up with all the backlog, especially from the COVID. It has been a dream come true, actually. We've been trying this for so many years. It has come true, actually, for us, and we are so pleased. As clinicians are pleased, and the patients look at the feedback we get. They're very, very happy.
I went to my GP with a niggle. She said that she was going to refer me to the gynecology. 4 to 5 weeks later, I had an appointment for here, and I'm just, wow. Yeah, so fair play to the NHS.
While Eileen had a positive experience, depending on the surgery, treatment or hospital, there are still those waiting. For Michelle and Gail, their surgeries changed their lives. They want others to advocate for themselves, fight to be seen, and for hospitals to do more to help.
No one deserves to be stuck on a never-ending waiting list.
It's okay to say and advocate for yourself, but there are people who can't, and the whole system does need to be shook up.
Tasha Kachiri, ITV News.
Well, many thanks to Michelle and Gail for telling us their story. A reminder that if you have a story to tell us about waiting for NHS treatment, you can get in touch via email to granada.report@itv.com. A Department of Health and Social Care spokesperson said the government's plan for change was making a difference.
In a statement, they told us, we inherited a situation where too many people are waiting too long for care, but we are working at pace to turn this around. The latest figures show that NHS waiting lists fell in May for the first time in 17 years and have dropped by more than 260,000 since July 2024.
Well, next, and a warning that this story features flashing and strobing images. 2 teenagers have been arrested in Liverpool after a laser was shone at a police helicopter as it responded to an emergency. In footage that contains flashing images, the green laser can be seen coming from outside a house in West Derby in the early hours of this morning. Pilots flying into John Lennon Airport also reported a laser being shone at them as they attempted to land. A 16- and 13-year-old boy have both been arrested.
Police are appealing for any information to assist their investigation into an arson attack that killed an elderly couple in St Helens. Peter Eric Greener and his partner Sheila Jackson died in hospital from their injuries. Detectives have described the attack as sickening and are calling on witnesses to come forward.
Nearly £10 million is to be spent improving safety on two of England's most dangerous roads. New cycle and walkways and motorcycle safety barriers will be created on the A57 Snake Pass and the A583 Blackpool Road on the Fylde coast in Lancashire. The government says it's expected to prevent almost 100 fatal and serious injuries over the next 20 years.
Cheshire and Warrington could have a mayoral election as soon as 2027 under new proposal. The government says the area is ready to secure a devolution deal, which could give local leaders more power over public services. A combined authority could be up and running by early next year.
And the ITV Evening News continues with the national and international stories at 6:30. Here's Charlene with the details.
Coming up tonight, heartbreaking and devastating. Tributes to the 10-year-old boy killed in a school bus crash in Somerset. 21 pupils and staff were taken to hospital, some with serious injuries, after the coach flipped over before sliding down a 20-foot slope. Serious water pollution incidents in England more than double, with pressure on the watchdog to do more. And England are through to the last four at the Euros after a nail-biting penalty shootout. Join us for those stories and more from 6:30.
A very exciting victory by the Lionesses. Well, next, and imagine the reaction from the hotels and bars if a massive event like the Pan-African Congress came to Manchester. Pound signs would literally be appearing before their eyes.
But when the event was held in the city back in 1945, virtually no one knew about it. Yet it's one of the landmark events in the history of the whole continent of Africa, as it inspired many African nations to demand their independence from colonial powers.
Well, now to remember the event, a new play has opened in Manchester, telling the story.
And it also tells how Manchester-born Len Johnson, one of the pioneering black boxers of his generation, was drawn to attend. More now from our reporter Jamal Williams-Thomas.
The world is still learning about the uncrowned champion Len Johnson, the boxer who never got a British title shot because he was black. Once Johnson hung up his gloves, he moved into politics, fighting for racial equality and social justice, and the new production as part of the Manchester International Festival brings it to the surface, and Tatcha Newall is the one bringing Len to life.
I've never played a real guy before, so I'm like, yo, I actually need to put some work in, so I'm doing bare research, and then I'm hitting like a brick wall. There's not much stuff there. I went, well, this is going to be difficult, because I know he's got living family members, like living descendants. I'm like, but they're going to come. I want to do a good job. I want to do justice to the guy.
And here's where the production takes place. It centres around the 5th Pan-African Congress, which took place here in Manchester in 1945. It was a catalyst for radical change and freedom from British colonialism, and as well as Len, it was also attended by 3 future African presidents.
I think one of the important things is to look at what did it mean to also be black in the 1940s. To do that in 1945 and not only think about your own positionality in the UK, but also think about it globally. It was a massive thing. And also it was also started off at the back of the trade union conference that had happened in Manchester, which was the biggest the conference was the biggest in attendance of black unionists. So it's that's how big it is.
And Manchester was the perfect place for it.
And because you hand these people who are coming from around the world, setting themselves up in Manchester, I think that kind of gave birth to this culture of unionizing, collective consciousness, and it seemed like the perfect kind of ground for the Congress to take place.
The campaign for a statue for Len Johnson is still ongoing, and exposure of figures like Len is vital.
And seeing Len Johnson on stage at the Royal Exchange was just I was so excited to humanise this character that we've been speaking about for all these years and who we've been reading into and looking into, and seeing him come to life on stage with a costume. And
I hope it inspires people to research. I hope it inspires people to be proactive and not let policies that fail us affect us now. Inspire change I want the youngers to see this and be like, yo, these people was doing this. Look at the way they were dressing. I want them to come watch it and be inspired by it.
Len's fight outside the ring was just as important as his fight inside the ring. Jamal Williams-Thomas, ITV News, Manchester.
And Liberation runs at the Royal Exchange Theatre in Manchester until July the 26th, or next Saturday, if you like.
It's time for sport now, and Manchester United have finally got their man. Here's Mike to tell us.
Yeah, that's right, a man they've been chasing since the season ended. They've got him at the third attempt. Manchester United have reached an agreement with Brentford to sign forward Brian Mbeumo. United had bids of around £45 million and then £60 million rejected. In the end, it's taken an offer totalling just over £70 million to get him. He will be United's third signing of the summer. Meanwhile, Liverpool are reportedly very close now to the signing of striker Hugo Ekitike from Eintracht Frankfurt. Well, next to those incredible scenes at the Women's Euros in Switzerland as England book their place in the semi-finals. After fighting back from 2 goals down, they beat Sweden in a thrilling penalty shootout to set up a showdown with Italy on Tuesday. Chris Hall watched the drama unfold in a packed bar in Manchester.
Too often, in 35 years of shootouts, England have misfired.
Experience anything like this, like that was so crazy. I thought 3 times we were out and then they missed again, and then at the end we scored 1 more than they did and we're through.
The tension, which stretched the nerves of England fans from Zurich to Manchester, was felt as early as the 2nd minute.
And they could be in trouble. Aslan is in!
Then this epic encounter, which ran until nearly midnight in Switzerland, was finally put to bed.
England have put these fans through every kind of emotion tonight, from despair through to relief, from fear through to joy. It's been quite a journey, and that journey now continues to Tuesday's semi-final against Italy, when this lot get to do it all over again.
My heart rate has never been that high. I feel very stressed still, even very excited, but that was intense.
I don't think my heart rate will recover for several days. It took everything in that team to come back, but they're very good at being resilient.
I'm a little bit annoyed. Penalties were abysmal, like awful, but I'm happy.
I'm so glad we got them on pens because they weren't worth it. We're going to win the whole thing.
It should be an England-Spain final, I reckon. But yeah.
Can your heart take another match like that?
I'm not sure. I'm really not sure.
We said at half-time we don't want to go home. Got a FaceTime. Hold on. I'm in a presser. Paul, I'm in a presser. Look.
The semi-finals are calling. Italy stand between England and their 3rd straight final. Nothing straightforward about their journey so far. Chris Hall, ITV News, Manchester.
Yeah, let's hope there's plenty more celebrations like that still to come. Well, to the latest in the ongoing saga at Morecambe Football Club now, and owner Jason Whittingham says the sale of the club will move a step closer today, claiming sales agreements will be completed. He's selling the National League club to a consortium led by a Johnny Cato. Whittingham says the consortium will pay staff and players wages while it waits for league approval. And that is your sport this evening, guys.
Mike, thanks very much. Now, to a very big musical, thank you, performed by some of Liverpool's top entertainers. They came together last night in a concert to reward the people of the city who helped raise the millions needed to save its baby hospice, Zoe's Place.
As big names like the Lightning Seeds and The Real Thing played with the Philharmonic Orchestra, a new name was announced for the new base for the hospice. It's to be called Little Lights after a public poll asked for suggestions.
Victoria Grimes was at the M&S Bank Arena for us and met one family who understand more than most just how vital the hospice is.
A new name and a fresh start. And for the families like 3-year-old Jude's who depend on it, it was an emotional night.
It's incredible. It makes your heart skip a beat to show that everyone has come out to support Zoe's. And we don't have a care package at home for Jude. I am his carer, so when he goes to Zoe's Place of Respite, I know he's cared and loved for exactly the same as he is with me. They treat him like he's their own. I know he's safe. They know him just as well as much as I know him, and that's so important, and that trust element is massive as well for us as families.
When you see like Jude here tonight and you see all these people that are supporting
your family.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you?
I don't know what to say really. So many words you can't pronounce it.
Yeah. It's quite emotional, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a bit like.
Is there anywhere else in the world that could have pulled a gig together like this and raised all that money in that short space of time?
It's just a very, very Scouse thing is to, you know, to look after our community, you know, and look after each other. We've had to do it for years and years and years because of one thing or another. This is no different.
I feel like Liverpool will carry Zoe's place, as in whenever they feel they need support or financial funding, the city's going to get behind it.
It's great that they've sold a lot of tickets. Everyone wants to support this, and all the artists that want to give their time.
Sometimes you have to think of the people who aren't so fortunate, you know, and I just think it's great, you know, to be able to give something back.
And are you treating the crowd to Use Me or Everything tonight?
I might do.
Oh, go on, please. Would
Well,
you
I might
give
do.
us a little bit now? Can we have a little bit now? It's my
I would
favourite.
take the stars out of the sky for you, stop the rain from falling, if you ask me to.
You to me are everything, the sweetest song that I could sing, oh baby. One more time.
Well, this concert's all about raising money for Zoe's Place Liverpool, but one thing the Stars are all very excited about is the chance to play with the Royal Liverpool Philharmonic Orchestra.
This will be one of the legendary nights in this city, I think.
Do you think so?
Yeah,
This
I
is one
think
you'll
so.
remember because you've been involved in every big gig.
I know. But I'm a bit overwhelmed, to be honest
You
with
look
you.
a bit overwhelmed to it. Do you need a hug?
Yeah, of course
Do you
I
need
do.
a hug?
We never ever imagined this would happen. I mean, 9 months ago we thought we were closing. And even outside of that, concerts like this for charities just don't happen. So the community's really come together to support Zoe's Place. Amazing.
If you don't have it, your batteries will run out. And they love him, and that's all we can ask for.
Yes, Liverpool certainly knows how to throw a party. Here's Louise with the weather.
Why do I need a shower? I've been out in the rain.
The faster you go, the sooner you'll be out. You'll save water too.
United Utilities sponsors ITV Granada weather.
Hello there, good evening. We have a yellow warning for thunderstorms coming into force at midnight. We can expect some very heavy pulses of rain to push northwards through tomorrow. 20 to 30 millimetres of rainfall is possible within an hour, with 60 to 90 millimetres possible in a 3-hour period, which could lead to some disruption on the roads, so do take care if you're travelling. The winds will also start to pick up as the rain pushes through. Taking a look at the pressure sequence, we have an occluded front pushing through tomorrow, bringing those heavy thundery showers in places. The next low pressure system will start to develop as we move through into the weekend, with further outbreaks of rain pushing through as we move into Sunday. Tonight, though, it should stay largely dry for the first half of the night. Cloud will start to thicken. Quite a lot of low cloud over the tops of the Pennines with some mist and fog in places, but you can see some rain starting to push in there as we move through towards dawn. Some heavy pulses in the mix. It is a very mild and muggy night. Temperatures holding up between 17 and 18 degrees Celsius. It's all changed tomorrow then, rather unsettled. Further outbreaks of rain pushing through, some of which will become heavy and thundery, as I said earlier. Sweeping through, following behind that, we'll have a number of scattered heavy showers at times, but some brighter breaks in between. Winds gusting around 40 miles per hour, and the heaviest shower with highs of around 22 degrees Celsius. Taking a quick look at Sunday then, it's a rather unsettled day. Further outbreaks of rain, once again, some of which could become heavy and blustery at times. Temperatures under all of the cloud cover holding up around 22 degrees Celsius. Rather changeable as we move through into the start of next week, with further outbreaks of rain at times and some very mild and muggy nights in the forecast as well. Sunny spells and scattered showers in the forecast.
United Utilities sponsors ITV Granada weather.
Making the most of summer. Piri sponsors ITV pollen count.
And it's rather changeable over the next couple of days. Pollen levels will then reduce to low, increasing to moderate through Sunday and Monday. It's currently grass and weed pollen. That's very latest. Have a lovely weekend. Bye-bye.
Enjoy your Friday evening, whatever the weather, and a big thank you to all of those of you who've emailed us about being on NHS waiting lists.
Yeah, keep them coming. Tasha's back with the late news after news at 10. But for now, enjoy your weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.